The South African Human Rights Commission is now openly calling for the government to expropriate private property in one of the few remaining majority white towns in South Africa. In an attempt to demographically transform the town of Hartbeespoort in Northwest, the Human Rights Commission is now the ones calling on the government agencies to employ the Expropriation Act in this historically white settlement. Last week, a report from the South African Human Rights Commission found that because of the legacy of segregation of the town of Hartbeespoort Dam, especially the shoreline properties next to the dam itself, has remained demographically too white. The report was a result of allegations that were made last year by residents of the Hartbeespoort community who alleged that discriminatory practices were negatively affecting access to the dam economy. The complainants alleged that despite this being government-owned land, black applicants, and particularly black women, were systematically denied occupier rights while many white applicants retained or obtained leases and continued their business activities. In its report, the South African Human Rights Commission found that the Department of Water and Sanitation had failed to redress racial and gender disparities in its leasing processes, resulting in ongoing indirect unfair discrimination against black and female applicants, which it claims constitutes a violation of the Constitution and the promotion of equality and prevention of unfair discrimination under Act 4 of 2000. It found not only the department but also the Madibeng municipality guilty of contributing to this so-called indirect discrimination. But what the Human Rights Commission has now suggested the department and the municipality to do to redress the situation is shocking. You see, the properties on the shoreline of the dam stays government property, but many leases were given out to different applicants during the course of the history of the dam in order to set up businesses such as holiday resorts or docks for boats, etc., in order to utilize the dam to its fullest extent. Most of these properties had been occupied for multiple decades by a single lessee, and these lessees every year reapplied to reinstate their leases. During this time they were occupants on these properties. They built up infrastructure, restaurants, holiday resorts, and so on and so forth in order to continue with their business activities. They invested millions into these properties with the promise that these properties will continue to be leased to them. Then the Human Rights Commission found that out of 4 different properties that came up for lease this year, only 1 went to a black person. But you see, 3 out of the 4 leases that came up this year were for people who already occupied these properties, who already invested in this land over decades, who only renewed their leases. Thus, the only new lease that were given to a new applicant went to a black person, making it actually so that 100% of all new leases went to black people. Yet, because most of these properties are already leased to white individuals, and because there was a promise to renew this lease as long as these occupants want to renew the lease, as they have invested so much money into the property, the department, or actually the Human Rights Commission, now says it is too slow. And therefore, the Human Rights Commission openly says that this property that had been developed, the infrastructure, needs to be expropriated without compensation in order to give the leases on the dam side to black individuals only, in order to change the demographics of the people who do lease from this town. The town of Hartbeespoort was founded in the early 20th century in the Hartbeespoort Valley, which had been occupied and farmed by the Voortrekkers and their descendants since the 1850s. In 1916, the construction of the Hartbeespoort Dam began on land previously owned by the Boer-General Hendrik Schoeman. The entire project was completed in 1923. The project was designed by Sir Thomas Stewart, one of South Africa's most influential civil engineers. The dam was built on a stretch of land containing natural, narrow bottleneck for water, perfect for a dam's construction. Following the dam's completion, the surrounding area attracted citrus farmers, dairy farmers and small holdings from the 1950s to 1980s. The area turned into a popular holiday destination for Johannesburg and Pretoria residents as it has a close proximity to these two towns. Attractions such as Cableway, the Snake Park, Elephant Sanctuary, dam cruises and Magaliesberg outdoor activities made it a highly popular recreational hub. Also, because of its close proximity to Pretoria and Johannesburg, the town has gradually developed into the semi-urban commuter town that it is today, where many people stay and then just commute to Pretoria or Johannesburg for their jobs. But there is a very important historical fact that needs to be taken into account in order to understand the whole dilemma currently surrounding this little town. You see, the demographics of this town had never ever been majority black, and the reason for this is because with the construction of the dam, no black labor was used. The dam itself was initially built exclusively by white labor, as part of a government attempt to rehabilitate poor whites who had been devastated by the Anglo-Boer War. The manual labor for this project was done exclusively by white men. This caused the fact that this town that had developed around the construction of the dam was also occupied exclusively by white families, which is a stark contrast from other towns throughout South Africa, where a lot of black labor was used and thus resulted in the development of a black squatter camp next to the town itself. It was only towards the latter end of the project that some very few black labor was added to speed up the process of completing the project. Moreover, after the dam was completed, the Department of Labour, in collaboration with the Hartbeespoort Scheme Management, purposefully continued to employ only poor whites for manual labor, thereby effectuating a situation where almost no black people migrated from their historic homelands into the area. This dam is truly an example of one of the few projects in South Africa one can safely say was built without exploiting cheap black labor. An accusation that we see every single day, where people claim that everything in this country was built on the back of exploitation. And so, because there was no major migration of black labor from the homelands to the Hartbeespoort town, the town has remained majority white throughout its entire history, and even remains so today, with census data suggesting that the town is almost 60% white. And it is important to note that the findings from the Human Rights Commission with regards to the properties on the shore of the dam found only indirect discrimination, no direct discrimination, not by the people who live there, but against the department and the municipality. It now wants the department and the municipality to correct this by first conducting an audit of who lives there. Then they must develop a transformation plan with numerical targets to demographically transform this town and finally expropriate the private property of the white residents in the area without compensation to give to black people in order to make this town not majority white any longer. What's this?
The department must consider all legal mechanisms available to it to regularize the occupation on the shoreline of Hartbees. And of course, that those options, legal options, will include evictions, but we've also indicated that they should also consider expropriation, which is also a legal tool that is available to the department in order for them to ensure that the resources of this country are equitably shared amongst all races and amongst all genders.
Now, bear in mind that while the land itself is government-owned, the infrastructure such as houses and garages on the property is not. This is privately owned under our law. And this is what is now being targeted for expropriation without compensation on the basis of the Expropriation Act signed into law by Cyril Ramaphosa in February this year. The entire narrative underlying expropriation without compensation in this country is based on the perceived notion of supposed historical injustices, which are supposedly to be corrected by means of restorative justice. But the case of Hartbeespoort highlights that this is not what it is about at all. In Hartbeespoort, you have a historically white area which has mostly or almost exclusively used white labor, and only very recently after apartheid had ended, started to import black migrant labor. Yet, now the South African Human Rights Commission is claiming that the demographics of the area are a result of segregation policies, which, especially in the case of Hartbeespoort, a former poor white town, is demonstrably untrue. This is all about demographic replacement for the sake of a political agenda, which in the long run is aimed at what the US President Donald Trump describes as the extermination of a people. There is no redress to be done here. This town had never had a significant portion of black occupants, as it was built almost fully by white people after the dam was built by white labor exclusively. In a recent video, we highlighted how this same agenda of demographic displacement is being facilitated by none other than the DA government in the Western Cape. Check out this full report by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now. And remember to become a member of the Willem Petsche Group by following the easy steps on the banner below. Only with your help are we able to continue making these videos to change the hearts and minds of people. Goodbye and God bless.